Welcome. You are safe here. Whatever you are carrying tonight, whatever weight has followed you into this moment, you can set it down now. We are going to spend this time resting in the words of Jesus, in the stories of his healing, his compassion, his power to restore what is broken. As you listen, let your body soften into wherever you are resting right now. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. Let your hands open. Take a breath in and slowly release it. Again, breathe in and breathe out. One more time, breathe in, hold it gently, and let go. There is nothing you need to do right now. There is nowhere you need to be. No problem you need to solve. No worry you need to hold. You are here, and Jesus is here with you. Tonight we will journey through the New Testament together. We will sit with the people Jesus healed, the broken and the bleeding, the blind and the bent, the desperate and the grieving, and the ones who had been waiting so long they had almost stopped hoping. We will hear his words spoken over them, and we will let those same words settle over us. Let these stories wash over you like water. Let them do their quiet work. The same Jesus who walked through Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem, who stopped for one person in the middle of a crowd, who spoke healing into bodies that medicine could not reach. He is the same yesterday and today and forever. And he is here now. Let us begin. The cleansing of the leper. Matthew chapter 8, verses 1 through 4. Jesus had just finished the Sermon on the Mount. He came down from the mountain, and great crowds followed him. The streets were crowded, the noise was loud. And then a man pushed through, a man no one else would approach, a man declared unclean by the law, by the priests, by his community, a leper, a man who was required by law to call out warning as he walked, so that others could step away from him. And this man came to Jesus. He did not wait at the edge of the crowd. He came forward. When he was come down from the mountain, great multitudes followed him. And behold, there came a leper and worshipped him, saying, Lord, if you will, you can make me clean. And Jesus put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately his leprosy was cleansed. Lord, if it is your will, you can make me clean. The leper did not say, I know you will heal me. He did not command it. He did not demand it. He simply said, if you are willing, you can. He came with a faith in Jesus' ability and humility about his own standing. And Jesus reached out his hand and touched him. When was the last time someone had touched that man? Months, years. Touch had been taken from him along with everything else. And the first thing Jesus did was touch. I will, be you clean. Whatever in your life feels untouchable tonight, whatever you have been told cannot be healed, whatever has kept you separated and alone, he says to you, I will, be clean. The Centurion's servant, Matthew chapter 8, verses 5 through 13. A Roman centurion came to Jesus, a man of authority and power, a man who commanded soldiers. And yet he came to Jesus on behalf of someone else. His servant was sick, paralyzed and in terrible pain. And this powerful man came to Jesus without pride, without demand, simply asking, Lord, my servant is at home sick of the palsy, grievously tormented. And Jesus saith unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou should come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, Go, and he goes, and to another, Come, and he comes, and to my servant, "Do this," and he does it. When Jesus heard it, he marveled, and said to them that followed, "Verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel." And Jesus said unto the centurion, "Go your way, and as you hast believed, so be it done unto thee." And his servant was healed in the selfsame hour. Speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. The centurion understood something profound about authority. He understood that a word spoken with true power does not need physical presence to accomplish its purpose. Jesus did not need to travel to Capernaum. He did not need to lay hands on the servant. He only needed to speak, and his servant was healed in the hour. The same hour, not the next morning, not after a period of recovery. Immediately, the word of Jesus reaches across any distance, across any room, across any miles, across any darkness. His healing power is not limited by space. It is not limited by time. The healing of the paralytic. Matthew chapter 9 verses 2 through 8. A man was paralyzed. He could not walk. He could not bring himself to Jesus. But he had friends who believed and carried him. And behold, they brought to him a man sick and disabled, lying on a bed. And Jesus, seeing their faith, said unto the sick of the palsy, "Son, be of good cheer, your sins are forgiven." But that you may know that the Son of Man has power on earth to forgive sins, then saith he to the sick, "Arise, take up thy bed, and go unto thine house." And he arose, and departed to his house. But when the multitude saw it, they marveled, and glorified God. Son, be of good cheer. Before Jesus healed the man's body, he healed something deeper, something the man had not even asked for, something no doctor could touch. Thy sins are forgiven thee. And then, and only then, arise, take up thy bed, and go. Jesus heals the whole person, not just the body, not just the visible wound. He reaches into the parts of us that ache in ways we cannot even name. Maybe tonight what you most need is not physical healing. Maybe it is the weight that has sat on your chest for years. He sees that too. Son, be of good cheer, your sins are forgiven. The man at the pool of Bethesda, John chapter 5 verses 1 through 9. 38 years. Say that slowly. 38 years. For 38 years, a man had been lying near a pool called Bethesda in Jerusalem, a place where the sick gathered, waiting for an angel to stir the water, believing that whoever stepped in first would be healed. There were many sick people there, many who were waiting, but this man had been waiting the longest. 38 years of lying in the same place, 38 years of watching others get healed before him, 38 years of almost. And then Jesus came to him, and a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Will you be made whole? The man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steps down before me. Jesus says unto him, Rise, take up your bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. Will you be made whole? Jesus asked him a question before he healed him, not because Jesus did not already know the answer, but because he wanted the man to name it, to say it out loud, to declare what he was asking for. Do you want to be well? Maybe that sounds like a strange question for a man who had been sick for 38 years. Of course he wanted to be well, but sometimes we have been in our pain so long We have built our lives around it. We have stopped imagining what life without it looks like. Jesus asked anyway, and then, without ceremony, without a long process, without waiting for the water to be stirred, rise, take up your bed, and walk. If Jesus is asking you that question tonight, what is your answer? Will you be made whole? The woman with the issue of blood, Luke chapter 8, verses 43 through 48. 12 years. For 12 years, a woman had been bleeding. For 12 years, she had been declared unclean by the law. Like the leper, she was not supposed to be in a crowd. She was not supposed to touch anyone. She had spent every coin she had on physicians. She had tried everything. And she was no better. She was worse. And then she heard Jesus was coming through, and a woman having an issue of blood 12 years, which had spent all her living upon physicians, neither could be healed of any, came behind him and touched the border of his garment. And immediately her issue of blood stanched. And Jesus said, "Who touched me? For I perceive that power is gone out of me." And when the woman saw that she was not hid, she came trembling, and falling down before him, she declared unto him before all the people for what cause she had touched him, and how she was healed immediately. And he said unto her, "Daughter, be of good comfort. Your faith has made you whole. Go in peace." And daughter. In a crowd full of people, Jesus stopped. He felt power leave him, and he turned to find out who it was. And this woman, trembling, afraid she had done something wrong, fell at his feet and told him everything. And he called her daughter, not woman, not stranger, not you who broke the law by being here. Daughter, she was his, she belonged to him, she mattered. Daughter, be of good comfort. You have been through so much. You have tried everything. You have been sick and tired and alone with it for so long. Be of good comfort. Your faith has made you whole. Go in peace. Let those words rest on you now. Be of good comfort. Go in peace. Mark chapter 10, verses 46 through 52. A blind beggar sat by the roadside outside Jericho. He could not see, but he could hear. And what he heard was a crowd moving through the city. He asked what was happening. Someone told him, "Jesus of Nazareth is passing by." And Bartimaeus the beggar began to cry out. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out and say, "Jesus, the Son of David, have mercy on me." And many charged him that he should hold his peace. But he cried the more a great deal, and Jesus stood still, and commanded him to be called. And they called the blind man, saying unto him, "Be of good comfort, rise." He called, and he, casting away his garment, rose, and came to Jesus. And Jesus answered and said unto him, "What do you want me to do for you?" The blind man said unto him, "Lord, that I might receive my sight." And Jesus said unto him, "Go your way, your faith has made you whole." And immediately he received his sight, and followed Jesus in the way. Jesus stood still, in the middle of a crowd, in the middle of a journey, with people pressing around him from every side. He stood still, for one man on the side of the road. Jesus already knew. He could see this man was blind. He knew exactly what the man needed. But he asked, he wanted to hear it from the man himself. He wanted Bartimaeus to say out loud, "Lord, that I might receive my sight." And immediately he received his sight. What is the specific thing you need? Not in general, not vaguely. What is the one thing you would say if Jesus stopped and stood in front of you right now and asked, "What do you want from me?" he is asking. The 10 lepers. Luke chapter 17, verses 11 through 19. As Jesus was traveling toward Jerusalem, he entered a village, and 10 men met him there. 10 men with leprosy, who stood at a distance as the law required them to do. And they lifted up their voices and said, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." And when he saw them, he said unto them, "Go show yourselves unto the priests." And it came to pass that as they went, they were cleansed. And one of them, when he saw that he was healed, turned back, and with a loud voice glorified God, and fell down on his face at his feet, giving him thanks. And Jesus answering said, "Were there not 10 cleansed? But where are the 9? And he said unto him, Arise, go your way. Your faith has made you whole." As they went, they were cleansed, not before they obeyed, not when they arrived at the priests, but on the way, while they were walking in trust, while they were moving forward before they could see the evidence. They were healed as they went. Sometimes the healing happens in the going, in the stepping forward even before you feel better, in the obedience that comes before the evidence. And one man turned back, just one. He fell at the feet of Jesus with a loud voice. He glorified God. "Arise, go your way. Your faith has made you whole." When healing comes in your life, let it make you a person who turns back, who falls down, who gives thanks. The woman bent over. Luke chapter 13, verses 10 through 17. 18 years. For 18 years, a woman had been bent over. She could not lift herself up, could not straighten her spine, could not look up at the sky. For 18 years, she had only ever seen the ground beneath her feet. And on a Sabbath day, she came to the synagogue, and Jesus was teaching there. And behold, there was a woman which had a spirit of infirmity for 18 years, and was bowed together, and could in no way lift up herself. And when Jesus saw her, he called her to him, and said unto her, "Woman, you are free from your sickness." And he laid his hands on her, and immediately she was made straight, and glorified God. And the ruler of the synagogue was angry, because Jesus had healed on the Sabbath. The Lord then answered him and said, "Should this woman, being a daughter of Abraham, whom Satan had bound, these 18 years, be free from this bondage on the Sabbath day?" For Jesus saw her, he called her to him. He did not wait for her to find her way to the front. He called her, and he laid his hands on her, and he defended her. He was indignant on her behalf. This woman ought to be free. She has been bound long enough. She is a daughter of Abraham. She is his. She belongs to the family of God, and no bondage, no spirit of infirmity, no 18 years of suffering changes that. Whatever has kept you bowed down for too long, whatever has made it impossible to look up, he says tonight, you are free. Jairus' daughter. Luke chapter 8. Jairus was a ruler of the synagogue, a man of position and standing in the community, and he fell at the feet of Jesus in front of everyone. His daughter was dying, his only daughter. She was 12 years old. He was desperate. And behold, there came a man named Jairus, and he was a ruler of the synagogue. And he fell down at Jesus' feet, and sought him so, that he would come into his house. For he had one only daughter, about 12 years of age, and she lay a-dying. Jesus went with him, and while he was still on the way, a messenger came from Jairus' house. "Your daughter is dead. Trouble not the master." Can you imagine hearing those words? But when Jesus heard it, he answered him, saying, Fear not, believe only, and she shall be made whole. And when he came into the house, all wept and bewailed her. But he said, Weep not, she is not dead, but asleep. And they laughed him to scorn, knowing that she was dead. And he put them all out, and took her by the hand, and called, saying, Maid, arise. And her spirit came again, and she arose straightway. Fear not, believe only. The worst possible news had come. She is already gone. Do not trouble the master any further. But Jesus was not troubled. He was not shaken. He was not limited by what the messenger said. Fear not, believe only. He put out the mourners who had already begun their weeping. He went to her room. He took her by the hand. Maid, arise, and she arose. Even when things seem impossibly too late, even when the news has already come, even when the mourners have already gathered, he is not finished. Fear not, believe only. The raising of Lazarus. John chapter 11. This is the moment when Jesus wept. Lazarus was one of Jesus' closest friends. He lived in Bethany with his sisters Mary and Martha, and he had gotten sick. His sisters sent word to Jesus, Lord, behold, he whom you loved is sick. Jesus waited 2 more days before he went, and by the time he arrived, Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. Martha came out to meet Jesus on the road. Then said Martha unto Jesus, Lord, if you had been here, my brother had not died. But I know that even now, whatsoever you will ask of God, God will give it you. Jesus said unto her, Your brother shall rise again. Jesus said unto her, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believed in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever lives and believes in me shall never die. Do you believe this? She said unto him, Yes, Lord. I believe that you are the Christ, the Son of God, which should come into the world. Then when Mary was come where Jesus was and saw him, she fell down at his feet, saying unto him, Lord, if you had been here, my brother had not died. When Jesus therefore saw her weeping, and the Jews also weeping, which came with her, he groaned in the spirit and was troubled, and said, Where have you laid him? They said unto him, Lord, come and see. Jesus wept. Then said the Jews, Behold how he loved him. Then they took away the stone. And Jesus lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me, and I knew that you hear me always. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Jesus said unto them, Loose him, and let him go. Jesus wept. Let that sit for a moment. The Son of God, the one who already knew he was about to raise Lazarus from the dead, the one who had already told Martha, I am the resurrection and the life. He wept because he loved him, because he saw Mary weeping, because he saw the grief of everyone around him, and he let it move him. He entered into their pain before he ended it. He groaned in his spirit. He was troubled. And then he wept. This is who he is, not a distant miracle worker, not a God who stands apart and delivers results without feeling. He wept, and then he prayed, and then he spoke with authority into the face of death itself. Lazarus, come forth. And a man who had been dead for 4 days walked out of his tomb. Loose him, and let him go. I am the resurrection and the life. He that believes in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Let those words be true for you tonight. Whatever in your life feels buried, whatever you have grieved has gone forever, whatever hope has been in the tomb too long, he is the resurrection, he is the life. The healing of Malchus's ear. Luke chapter 22, verses 50 and 51. This final healing may be the most remarkable of all. It happened in the Garden of Gethsemane, the night Jesus had just prayed in agony, the night Judas led soldiers to arrest him, the night everything was about to fall apart. Chaos broke out. One of the disciples drew a sword and cut off the ear of the high priest's servant. His name was Malchus, and Jesus answered and said, "Suffer you so far." And he touched his ear and healed him. On the worst night of his life, surrounded by soldiers who came to take him away to be killed, in the moment of betrayal and violence and the beginning of his own suffering, Jesus stopped to heal someone, not a follower, not a friend, a servant of the very people who wanted him dead. He could not stop being who he was, even in his darkest hour, even in pain, even in betrayal. The compassion of Jesus has no off switch. It does not require peaceful circumstances. It does not require the right moment. It does not require him to feel okay first. Even in his darkest hour, he reached out and healed. We are going to slow down now and let the words of Jesus wash over you. There is nothing for you to do. Simply receive these words. Breathe in and breathe out. I will. Be you clean. I will. Be you clean. Speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. The word of Jesus reaches across any distance. Son, be of good cheer. Your sins are forgiven. Son, be of good cheer. Will you be made whole? Will you be made whole? Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. Daughter, be of good comfort. Your faith has made you whole. Go in peace. What will you that I should do unto you, Lord, that I might receive my sight? Go on your way. Your faith has made you whole. As they went, they were cleansed. Fear not, believe only, and she shall be made whole. Made, arise, made, arise. I am the resurrection and the life. He that believes in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. Lazarus, come forth. Loose him and let him go. Let these final words from Scripture rest over you like a covering. Bless the Lord, O my soul, and forget not all his benefits, who forgives all the iniquities, who heals all diseases, who redeems life from destruction, who crowns with loving kindness and tender mercies. He heals all diseases. He heals all diseases. But he was wounded for our transgressions, he was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. With his stripes we are healed. With his stripes we are healed. Ehashi, for I will restore health, and I will heal your wounds, say the Lord. I will restore health, I will heal wounds, said the Lord. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. God shall wipe away all tears, no more death, no more sorrow, no more crying, no more pain. The former things shall pass away. You have rested in the presence of Jesus tonight. You have sat with the leper, who was touched when no one else would touch him. You have sat with the woman who bled for 12 years and finally found someone who called her daughter. You have sat with the blind man who refused to stop crying out until Jesus stood still. You have sat with Jairus, who got the worst news and then watched his daughter rise. You have sat with Mary and Martha at the tomb of someone they loved and heard a voice call the dead man home. And now, as you drift toward sleep, know that he is with you in this room. He is the same yesterday and today and forever. The hands that touched the leper are the hands that hold you. The voice that said, "Come forth to Lazarus," knows your name. The heart that wept at the tomb of his friend is moved with compassion for you right now. You are known, you are loved, you are held. Let your body be heavy. Let your breath be slow. Let your mind be still. He is watching over you tonight. Fear not, believe only. Go in peace.